Hi, moral recap here. Today, I'm going to explain about a South Korean romantic comedy film called Little Bride. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie opens with a young guy, Song-min, in a flight, grinning while looking at a picture of a young girl in a school uniform. He then notices a beautiful girl sitting beside him on the plane. Later, he follows the girl but is surprised to find her being welcomed by her boyfriend. Disappointed, Song-min then strolls through the airport, looking at other girls in a perverted manner. In the meantime, he notices a girl looking at some flowers, wearing a short skirt. Seeing this as an opportunity, he intentionally drops his phone on the floor to sneak under her skirt. The girl, who turns out to be Bo-yoon, instantly realizes Song-min's intention and kicks his phone away. As Song-min turns to complain about his phone, they recognize each other. Both seem to know each other quite well. Bo-yoon exclaims that Song-min hasn't changed a bit as Song-min just wickedly comments about her body and curves. Bo-yoon dismisses him and they board a bus to head towards Bo-yoon's home. During the journey, Bo-yoon complains about how perverted Song-min has become. Later, they reach Bo-yoon's home and Song-min is welcomed by her family. Everybody is happy to see Song-min. Song-min then asks about Bo-yoon's grandfather's health. In the next scene, Song-min and Bo-yoon are sitting inside a room with Grandpa who is being fed by Bo-yoon. During the conversation, Grandpa mentions that Song-min's grandpa and he made a promise that their children would marry each other one day. Since both had only sons, the pact was passed on to the next generation, like Song-min and Bo-yoon. Upon hearing this, Song-min and Bo-yoon are shocked, and they take it as a joke. Later, Song-min goes to his college and calls his friends to announce his return. His friends inquire about his sudden return, and he replies that it is due to his family matters and especially his marriage. Following this, Bo-yoon's grandpa makes a call to Song-min's dad asking for his assistance to make his promise come true. Back at the school, as Bo-yoon is watching a baseball practice where her campus crush is also playing, she remembers her grandpa's wish and is saddened. Later, Song-min comes to the school to pick Bo-yoon and they end up having some snacks in a cafe along with Bo-yoon's friend, Hye-won. Suddenly, Bo-yoon gets a call, and they rush to the hospital. At the hospital, Bo-yoon's grandpa is lying in bed and preparing to fake his death to forcibly convince Bo-yoon to get married to Song-min. Just as Bo-yoon and Song-min enter the room, the machine reads no pulse, which panics both Bo-yoon and Song-min. The parents then come into agreement to fulfill their stubborn elder's wish. Grandpa wakes up and keeps on mentioning how important this promise is for him. Suddenly, he fakes passing out again and the duo reluctantly agree to marry each other. In the next scene, Bo-yoon is sobbing in her room, while her brother teases her for being the only girl to get married at such a young age in the whole country. Her mother tries to console her by telling the bright side of the marriage and assuring her that her future will be better. Meanwhile, Song-min is drinking and being teased at some club with his friends. Finally, Song-min and Bo-yoon get married as per the Korean ritual. After their marriage, Song-min and Bo-yoon head out for their honeymoon trip where Bo-yoon aborts Song-min while boarding the plane. Song-min, who is already in the plane, is forced to leave for the honeymoon alone. Song-min is furious with Bo-yoon for this act, and to add to his anger, another annoying couple keeps on talking behind his back. Later, they also steal his cab to the hotel. At night, Song-min finds the same couple making love below his balcony and showers them with some toilet water. During the honeymoon trip, Song-min travels to every place he planned on visiting. However, he is very lonely and enraged about the fact that Bo-yoon ditched him. Elsewhere, Bo-yoon wanders the streets as she cannot return home. She goes to the school where she meets her crush Young, and they start spending time together. Soon, they start dating and Bo-yoon lies that she is single. Later, Song-min returns from his honeymoon trip and sees Bo-yoon standing in front of the house. They enter the house pretending they were together on the trip. The family then enjoys dinner together. After dinner, everybody visits the couple's new apartment. The next day, when Bo-yoon meets her friend Hye-won in school, she tells her everything about how she fled from the honeymoon trip and about her relationship with the famous school crush Young-woo. Upon hearing this, Hye-won is not so happy as she also secretly loves the same guy, Young-woo. Later, Bo-yoon is confronted by 3 bullies who warn her not to spread fake rumors regarding her relationship with Young-woo. Just as the bullies are giving Bo-yoon a hard time, Young-woo interrupts them to save her by accepting their relationship. In the evening, Song-min and Bo-yoon prepare a great pasta and enjoy it together. They then play a rock-scissors-paper game to decide the person for doing the dishes, where Bo-yoon loses. In the next scene, Song-min is assigned with his internship destination where he is supposed to be an art teacher. He is shocked to find that his internship school is none other than Bo Yoon's school. Later that night, he tries to tell Bo Yoon about his internship complication but ends up shouting at her in frustration. The next day, Songmin is warmly welcomed by the school staff, Kim, who he had already encountered in his lonely honeymoon trip. Eventually, Bo Yoon is shocked to see her husband being introduced as a new teacher in her class. Songmin joins the faculty for a drink where Kim openly flirts with him and forces him to drink. However, Songmin flees the place and returns home. The following morning, just after the class is over, Hye-won meets Songmin and warns him about his wife's side affair. As he is thinking about it, he is called by Kim and forced to take the lunch from her box. Seeing this, Bo Yoon is secretly jealous, but she denies it when Songmin asks the same. At a scene at home, Bo Yoon is trying to focus on her studies but is disturbed by the loud noise of the film that Songmin is watching in the next room. Bo Yoon goes to the room, grabs the remote, and turns the TV off. An angry Songmin then grabs the remote off her hand when suddenly Kim pays a surprise visit to their apartment. Their secret is almost revealed, but Bo Yoon jumps off the balcony to hide herself. The next day, while Songmin is teaching, one of the students interrupts him by asking about his first love. Songmin replies that his first love was the girl who visited him during his military days. Hearing his reply, Bo Yoon starts imagining a different girl while looking out of the window. Songmin stares at Bo Yoon as he is describing his first love. In the next scene, Songmin is informed of a military service notice via his friend. In the camp, Songmin and his friends are happy that they still have that energy required to be in the military. Suddenly, Bo Yoon arrives with a lunch box for him. As Songmin is about to have lunch from the box, he is interrupted by one of his seniors, who orders him to do some muscle training first. Seeing this, Bo Yoon gets angry and scolds the bully senior, telling them to let her husband have lunch. Songmin gets happy to see Bo Yoon in his defense. Later, the married couple gets into trouble with some goons on the road. They are brought to the police station where the officer doesn't believe that they're married and instead doubts them as an illegal couple. Songmin then calls the principal from the school, who arrives at the police station along with teacher Kim. After finding out that Songmin is already married to Bo Yoon, Kim is shattered and heartbroken. Finally, the police let them go after some investigation. The next morning, a heartbroken Kim assigns an impossible task to Bo Yoon where she must design a whole backdrop for the upcoming school festival. Songmin tries to convince Kim not to give such a harsh task to Bo Yoon, but she doesn't listen to him. Afterward, we see Songmin painting the wall while the three bully students wonder why he is involved in the task, not knowing the fact that he is married to Bo Yoon. Teacher Kim inspects the wall and warns Bo Yoon and Hye-won about the deadline. Meanwhile, Songmin, without Bo Yoon knowing, asks his friend for help to finish painting the wall. Songmin and his friend go to the wall and paint it secretly while Bo Yoon thinks that despite the harsh task assigned to her, Songmin is not even trying to help. Elsewhere, Bo Yoon's brother asks his friends to record him as he is planning to hit on a girl. Just then, his friends notice Bo Yoon with the other guy, Young-woo. They start recording them without Bo Yoon's brother's knowledge. Later that evening, all the family members are enjoying dinner, but Bo Yoon forgets about it as she is busy with her boyfriend. Songmin calls Bo Yoon and asks her to arrive as soon as possible. After the dinner, Bo Yoon's brother declares that he will reveal his new girlfriend to the family and plays the video he had shot earlier. When everyone is watching the video, footage of Bo Yoon dating Young-woo starts playing out of nowhere. Seeing this, Bo Yoon drops the glass from her hand and runs to the nearby park. She sits on a swing and starts crying. Songmin follows her and sits beside her. There, Bo Yoon apologizes for her mistake and simply walks away. In the next scene, Bo Yoon calls one of Songmin's seniors as she can't find him around. On the phone, the senior reveals that Songmin has been spending most of his time painting the wall instead of doing his other important works for his studies. Upon hearing this, Bo Yoon goes and checks the laundry. She finds paint all over Songmin's shirt and realizes how much she has been ignoring his efforts. Bo Yoon then rushes to her school to see the wall and finds it beautifully painted with a picture of a boy pushing a girl in a swing. The picture depicts her memory with Songmin when they were little. She cries knowing how she never realized the love that had been inside of her since she was a child. The next morning when Bo Yoon wakes up, she goes to check on Songmin but only finds his packed boxes. She goes through some of his stuff and finds a letter. The letter turns out to be the one that she had written a long time ago when he was serving the military. Eventually, it's the day of the school festival. All the students are happy and excited. Bo Yoon tries to find Songmin among the crowd but fails. Later, she also talks to Young-woo and breaks up with him. Then she sits with Hye-won and asks her about Songmin. Hye-won points out the place where she could find Songmin. Meanwhile, it's time for the three bully girls' performance. After that, Songmin is about to give a farewell speech regarding his internship in the school but is interrupted by one of the bullies who reveals his secret marriage to the crowd. Songmin in defense begs the crowd not to judge Bo Yoon only because of her marriage at such an early age. He also explains how Bo Yoon had no choice but to fulfill her dying grandpa's last wish. In the meantime, Bo Yoon joins him on the stage and tells him that she is not a child anymore. She also confesses her feelings toward him. Bo Yoon says "I love you" in front of the whole school. Listening to this, Songmin kisses Bo Yoon, and everybody claps for them. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video. Thanks for watching.